welcome back to Old Folks Racing PS4. Welcome back to Mugello for Race 2. And this is round 4 of the championship. Race 1 has been won by Kev Allen. I think you heard me many times shout his name, followed by Diogo Silva and Simon Allen. Now it's race 2. We are still with the Audi prototype LMP 900, and here is the starting grid with Paul Beattie and Darren Head. A surprising front row with Paul Beattie doing it again. Lightning pace in qualifying, but can he convert it into a win this time? Diogo Almeida an excellent third, followed by the Allens, Diogo Silva, Alonso Fonso, Frankie Jambo, Chris Russell, and oh, at the start already a crash within, well, not seconds, within like immediately after the green light, and that was Kev Allen, who had engaged reverse by mistake and is literally going backwards in this race. Someone has spun there in turn 1, but look at this. It's Paul Beattie in the lead, Darren Head in second, but everyone behind was collected by a reversing Kev Allen. What a disaster. And now we let's see if we can identify who was affected. Diogo Silva is here. He's in 9th place and he is now in the middle of the pack. Diogo Almeida has dropped to last from 3rd place. Here comes out Diogo Silva trying to go on the outside, and he's almost spun and hit those blocks, and up in the air go the blocks. All sorts of mayhem. Let's see Kev Allen there. He hasn't lost too much time. He's in 7th place. Someone in front of him is running wide. That was Todd Antonio, who was in 6th, but now he is dropping back to 8th. Diogo Silva is in 9th. Diogo Almeida has lost his 3rd position on the grid and has gone backwards to last. What a strange first lap, and very, very different from race 1. Here comes Diogo Silva now on Todd Antonio. Can he make a move here? No, he can't. He can move his side by side. I think he's got the job done. Diogo Silva. No, he hasn't got the job done. He hasn't got the job done. He hasn't got the job done, and they both go into the gravel. They collide. What a disastrous first lap for Diogo Silva, with Kev Allen reversing into him, followed by an incident at Arrabbiata, and now an incident with Todd Antonio. But miraculously, Diogo is not in last position. He is in 10th, and Kev Allen is dropping back. Kev Allen is dropping back because he's got a drive-through penalty. He's got a drive-through penalty for having moved the car in reverse, in this case, but before the green light. So he's serving that penalty, which surely will take him to last. He rejoins the track in 12th place. So let's make a roundup of who's who. The top 3 seem to have not been affected by any incident. So that's Paul Beattie, Darren Head, who has basically done a very, very different start to this race compared to race 1. Of course, he qualified much better, but he's now in 2nd place. Simon Allen in 3rd. Jambo has gone up to 4th. Stuart Brand nicely up to 6th. And here comes now Simon Allen on Darren Head. This is a battle for 2nd place. And will Simon Allen be able to recover 2nd place from Darren Head? Paul Beattie has already checked out from these 2. Look at him. He's already in the horizon. It's the end of lap 2 and Paul Beattie is leading. But remember, he also led the first 4 laps of race 1 and then he finished 5th. So Paul Beattie is really in a battle against himself. Look at this. Simon Allen now really at the back of Darren Head, and could he make a move now? He's coming on the inside, and Darren is on the outside. They're side by side through the start-finish line, and I think Simon will get the job done because he's got the inside line into turn 1. Can he get the job done? Can he get the job done? Can he get the job done? Yes, he can. He can. Good job from Simon Allen getting 2nd place. That was a good move, and we are already seeing a lot more overtaking and certainly a lot more mayhem than we have seen in the entire race 1, just on the first couple of laps here in race 2, with now Darren Head losing the 2nd position to Simon Allen. Simon is now going to chase Paul Beattie and put some pressure because Paul has already shown that. Oh, and they crash Darren has. Oh, and Darren spins and he's going to lose more time. He forgot to brake or what? I think Simon has just a different line through that corner. You basically can do slow in, fast out, but in the case of Simon Allen, it was slow in and hit in the back by Darren Head. Fortunately for Simon, he has emerged relatively unaffected by this incident as he continues to be in second. Here is a nice battle between Jumbo, Stuart Brand, and Alonso Fonso, who I keep calling Alonso Fonso, not his real name, who is Jorge Jesus, here in 6th place. And again, the strong performance from him. I think it's just easier if I keep calling him Alonso Fonso. He's in 6th place and actually eyeing 4th place or maybe even a podium, because Darren Head can be seen there not too far ahead. Diogo Silva in the meantime has recovered a little bit of ground. He's in a nice, another lively group where everyone has the same livery, so it's going to be quite tricky to tell these drivers apart. I believe that's Chris Russell, who has not participated in race 1 because he was slightly late, but now making an appearance and already in 7th place. Diogo Almeida, who has qualified so well. What a pity for Diogo to lose time at the start, and Diogo Silva, the other Diogo. Both Diogos have been quite affected by the opening lap shenanigans, and they are now making a bit of a recovery race, and Diogo Silva certainly will think that he is faster than at least Chris Russell, and Diogo Almeida has run wide and into the wall. That's what happened to a lot of drivers in race 1, and that's what's happened to Diogo Almeida now in race 2. As a result, he drops behind Diogo Silva. He's now in 9th place. Diogo up to 8. Can he do a better job attacking Chris Russell? Chris defending very well. I think both Diogos are actually faster than Chris, but they just cannot find a way past the Scottish driver Chris Russell, who is making his return to Old Fox Racing here in race 2 after such a strong performance in round 1 at the Red Bull Ring. Alonso Fonso in the meantime continues to find a way, or at least think about finding a way around Stuart Brand, who himself is a little bit stuck behind Jumbo. This is what we have seen over and over again, these small groups of cars that have more or less the same pace, but it's quite tricky to make a clean move now. The best chance for Alonso Fonso is, he brakes very late indeed. His best chance comes now at the start finish line, and he's lining up a move. He's lining up a move now on the outside, what will be the outside of turn 1, and I think he's got the job done. Yes, he has. Yes, he has his start finish line. He goes ahead of Stuart Brand, but Stuart now has the inside line. Can Stuart make a move? No, he can't, or can't he? He cannot. But here comes Diogo Silva on Chris Russell, trying the inside there, but good defending there from Chris. Good defending there from Chris Russell. This is brilliant stuff. This is a much better race than race 1. Race 1 was 2 tenths, but not very exciting, and here we have wheel-to-wheel battles now all over the track. We saw there Alonso Fonso around Stuart Brand. Here comes Diogo Silva on Chris Russell, trying to make a move there on the inside. Didn't quite work. Now through the S's, the second S's now before we enter the Arrabbiata section. Can he make a move in here? It is quite tricky, and he's got a better pace through here, but not quite enough to make a move now through the Arrabbiata corners. Can he make a move around Chris Russell? It doesn't seem like it. Doesn't seem like it, but he's very close now. Diogo Silva almost going through Chris Russell. Can he keep his momentum through the second Arrabbiata? Can he try now to go on the inside? It's a very tricky corner to overtake, and Diogo has a thing, but gets out of it. He's lining up a move, but he's running a little bit out of time, because we are already almost at the half point of this race, and he's still in 8th place, which is clearly not where he wants to be. Neither is Diogo Almeida, who is in 9th, and both they have the pace to be a little bit further up in the grid. Here comes Kev Allen now on Scott Davely. That was a good move by Kev, who is recovering from not only reversing into half the field, but also the associated drive-through penalty. Here comes Diogo Silva again, almost hitting Chris Russell at the back, but he's now going to try to make a move into turn 1. Can he do it this time? Chris defended very nicely last time, but he's now trying to make another move. He's now into the draft of Chris Russell, and he's trying to go the outside this time. Can he do it? He's trying to break later than Chris, and he's trying to go around the outside. He's done it. Nice move there. Keeps it in one piece around turn number 1, and Diogo Silva has now moved into 7th place. Scott Davely is behind Kev Allen and almost hitting him, and then and Kev has spun, and Scott Davely, in order to avoid him, has not spun but lost a little bit of time. Kev Allen continues to, and here comes now Diogo Almeida on Chris Russell. He is trying to defend now from the other Diogo, and he can't really. And Diogo hits him. And off goes Chris Russell. into the gravel trap after contact from Diogo Almeida. That was a little bit of an ambitious move by Diogo there. That was a little bit clumsy, I should say. Alonso Afonso continues to work around Jumbo, and now he's really close, having been close before, but not this close. He's trying to get away around and not really managing to do so. He's now coming on the last corner, almost hitting Jumbo, but avoiding him at the last minute. Jumbo also runs wide. Let's see what happens to these two drivers at the start-finish line, and Alonso Afonso has a better exit, and he's got the job done even before the start-finish line. Great job by Alonso Afonso, getting into 4th place. Jumbo drops to 5th, so nice recovery race also from Alonso Afonso. He wasn't one of the very affected drivers by excuse me, by the opening lap mayhem, but he certainly has lost a little bit of time, and he's now recovered. He's overtaken both Stuart Brand and Jumbo on the track without the drivers running in front of him making any mistakes. So nice job there from Alonso Afonso. Maybe he can still challenge for a podium, although he's 6 seconds behind Darren Hand. And here comes almost like a replay of a couple of laps ago, which is basically Kev Allen trying to get around Scott Davely. This is the battle for... Oh, and Kev Allen has spun again, and my goodness, what a change. What a change from the last race where we were praising Kev Allen's skills. Now everything seems to be going wrong for him in this race. He's in 10th place. He's scoring some points, but this is going to cost him dearly in terms of championship position, because Simon Allen is in 2nd place. And Darren Head is in 3rd, and of course the point system will allow for drivers to discard 20% of their worst 20% of results, which is basically 2 out of 10 races. We are still in race 4, but I can already predict that maybe, just maybe, this is one of the results that Kev Allen is going to drop at the end of the season, assuming that he turns up for every race and he manages to basically finish higher than 10th in most of his races. Here comes Diogo Silva now on Stuart Brand. Stuart has been losing a little bit of time, and now he's run wide in turn 1, and here comes Diogo Silva and recovers now 6th place. Nicely done by Diogo there, putting pressure in Stuart and forcing him, so to speak, to make a small mistake. Stuart didn't leave the track, but lost a little bit of time, and Diogo said, thank you very much, here I come. 6th place for him. Nice recovery race. Can he get to 5th? Maybe, just maybe, although Jumbo is still 3 seconds, almost 4 seconds ahead, and we already are in lap 8, so basically 5 laps to go. 4 laps after the end of this one. Simon Allen is now closing on Paul Beatty, but Paul has already survived in the lead, double the laps as last time. He made a mistake at the end of lap 4, and now he's actually reaching the end of lap 8 without making a mistake, and maybe, just maybe, he can hang on for the last third of the race, and actually it would be his first win in All Fox Racing. We had a lot of winners last season, I think around 10, and great to see this season already some new drivers also challenging for wins. Very competitive league here. 13 drivers. We have a maximum of 16 drivers in PS4 races, so we could have a slightly more complete grid. Let's see if in round 3, so races 5 and 6, we can have a full grid. That would be really nice to see. Alonso Afonso, we are following him in the chase camera. He is in 4th place, and no one is really bothering him. Jumbo is in 5th, and we're already in lap 9. Let's see the gap between him and Diogo Silva, because Diogo has been definitely closing up that gap. It was almost 4 seconds a couple of laps ago. Now it's down to 2 seconds, or make it 1.5 seconds. So maybe, just maybe, Diogo is going to challenge for a top 5 here. Stuart Brand is relatively stable in 7th. Diogo Almeida is in 8th place. Scott Davely in 9th. 10th is Kev Allen. 11th is Chris Russell, who has dropped back after that incident with Diogo Almeida. 12th is Todd Antonio, and Frankie is, well, he's actually, I'm sure he has retired from this race. He's going to be a DNF because he's so far behind that I can only assume that he is actually no longer running at the track, and that's going to be quite a disappointing round of races for Frankie. He qualified quite well, but not quite the race performance that he would have liked. Diogo Almeida is in the meantime chasing Stuart Brand, and Simon Allen continues to try to close the gap to Paul Beattie. Now we are just 3 laps from the end, and it's still, well, it's now under 2 seconds for the first time, so maybe we can have a little bit of a challenge by Simon Allen, the driver that, if it remains like this, he would actually go into the lead of the championship, and that's despite not winning a single race and not having any pole positions either. But he's just been Mr. Consistent over these 4 rounds. If he can keep it in one piece for the remaining 3 laps of this race, he's actually going to get a pretty nice result. And of course, Simon is one of those drivers that is strong everywhere, in every circuit, in every car, and maybe, just maybe, this season he can make a more consistent challenge for the title, especially with Kev Allen making mistakes. And we already saw several mistakes in this race. We already saw a mistake in race 1 of the Red Bull Ring as well. So Kev Allen either is winning convincingly, or is making a mistake, and so far half the races he has won and half the races he has made a mistake that has proven costly. Here comes Kev Allen again now on Scott Davely. So this is part 3. This is already Fast and Furious 3, and Fast and Furious he is, Kev Allen, because he's fast and he's certainly furious with his own performance, and he's locking up. And we already saw him going, or trying to go around Scott Davely 2 times, and now 3rd time lucky for Kev Allen, or not, because Scott is just running away from him at the moment, and we only 2 laps to go. Kev Allen is running out of time, and every point counts in such a competitive league, so I'm sure that he will be trying very hard to get those 2 additional points that 9th place gives compared to 10th. Here comes Diogo Silva now. Actually, Diogo Silva has found Jumbo, so with 2 laps to go. Also, Diogo Almeida has found Stuart Brand and is closing up, and Diogo Almeida has spun. He has spun on his own, and he hits the reset button, I think, and is back in position without losing 8th place. Oh no, Jumbo has lost time. Jumbo has lost time. Maybe he's made a mistake as well, but he has dropped 2 places, so Diogo Silva is now 5th, and Stuart Brand has gone up into an excellent 6th place. And can he hang on a couple more laps? This will be his best result of the season after a relatively disappointing opening round at the Red Bull Ring. He's now showing what he can do, and can he put this car in the top 6 here? That would be a very good result indeed for Stuart Brand. Here comes Kev Allen again, still being fast and furious and trying to get around Scott Davely. Scott being Mr. Consistent there, and then they both spin, and who is going to come out in front? It's Kev Allen. What a strange way to overtake someone. Basically, I don't know if there was any oil or any other fluid at that corner. They basically both span in tandem, in sympathy with each other. It looked like a piece of synchronized swimming in the Olympic Games, but the net result is that Kev Allen has gone up to 9th, and Scott Davely now has Chris Russell to worry about, although Chris is still 5 seconds behind him as we have entered the last lap. And can Paul Beattie beat everyone here at Mugello Race 2? He certainly has shown to have the pace, but in race 1 he did not have the consistency. He's now trying to defend a late challenge from Simon Allen. Simon has managed to put the gap under 2 seconds, but there are just a few corners to go, so I think that Paul just now has to hang on, keep it on the black stuff, and he is going to win because he's got enough of an advantage. 1.5 seconds, I think it's a little too little, too late from Simon Allen. He's going to gain some ground, but Paul Beattie is now in the last corner. Can he make it without mistakes? Yes, he can, and now he just needs to accelerate through towards the checkered flag. And for his first win in Old Fox Racing PS4, well done to Paul for his first win. He is the 11th winner in Old Fox Racing PS4 history, and he has scored a very convincing victory here with Simon Allen in second place, moves in the championship with Darren Head third. Alonso Fonso is an excellent for Diogo Silva. Nice recovery to a top 5 position, also known as 5th place. 6 is Stuart Brand, his best result of the season as well. Jambo will be disappointed not to get the top 5. He has shown what he can do in terms of pace, but that last mistake was very, very costly indeed. 8 was Diogo Almeida. 9th is going to be Kev Allen, who is no longer the championship lead, but he can drop this result later on in the season. 10th is Scott Davey, who has also finished 10th in race 1, so fairly consistent results there from Scott. Chris Russell will be disappointed with 11th, and Stott Antonio is going to finish 12th. He's going to be the last of the finishers because Frankie has DNF'd this race, and we went after the race to find out what was the cause of retirement. It was not a blown engine, it was not a broken gearbox, it was not anything mechanical. It was just because he received a call from his granddaughter, and family comes first for these old folks. Of course, it's more important even than racing, but overall it was a slightly disappointing weekend for Frankie. He's going to be looking forward to the next few races, because he can certainly finish a little bit higher up than he has done here. Confirmation of the result there, Paul Beattie, his maiden win in Old Fox Racing, followed by championship leader Simon Allen. Let's see if we have the updated points table or not. I'm not certain. Here it is. Simon Allen, Kev Allen, Yorkshire 1-2, Darren Head, then Diogo Silva, Jorge Jesus, Jambo and Diogo Almeida. Stuart Brand in 8th place, 9th Scott Davey, and 10th is Paul Beattie. What an amazing race this was here at Mugello. Excellent combo. See you next week.